So, hey everyone, it's your one and only Dan, and today I have Chiel with me.
What's up, guys? Good morning.
You might remember him from the previous episode, and today we're gonna chat with him about his background, how he got into hospitality specifically, and what he does, which is being a product manager. So, yeah, let's start off with what did you used to do, and how did you get here?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan, first of all. I'll start with my background. I'm 20 years old. I finished high school and then I did a degree in game development, IT, at the University of Applied Sciences of Amsterdam. I'm in my final year now, and basically the studies were about game development and programming, and I liked it. I liked games all my life, but I noticed that I'm a very social person. I really wanted to work with people.
Yeah.
So I noticed the management part of IT was more fit to me. So I really started planning, within groups. We had projects. I really started to plan all the tasks for all the people. And that basically transferred to when I went looking for a graduation internship, which I'm doing now. I really wanted to do something within management because the game development world was fun, and I might work in a game company, but I didn't want to be like a hardcore developer. So that's why I chose product management, because it suits me really well. I like to work with people. I don't mind working in an office, but I do want to have a lot of contacts, talk to people. That's what made me choose product management.
Is there any specific game dev company that you would enjoy working at in the future?
Everybody has their own favorite games, of course.
Yeah.
I really like Relogic from Terraria, which I think is a really cool game.
Yeah.
And I like games like Brawl Stars and Clash of Clans, so Supercell would be cool. But also smaller indie games would be fun. I don't really have a dream job. I just want to succeed.
And what specifically got you into hospitality?
I'm doing an internship at a hospitality management platform now. I don't think I necessarily chose this internship because it was hospitality management. I just chose it because I got in and it's good. But I like it. I think hospitality management is pretty cool. I didn't really know it existed in this form.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about how it works and why it works and why it's also necessary in the future. But no, I didn't choose this internship because it was hospitality management. As I said, I come from a game development background, so it's a pretty weird pivot to take.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good to take a pivot sometimes.
Well, you kind of just fell into it, and now you're gathering experience, which is great in any field.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So let's dive a bit deeper into just kind of like product and the work environment stuff. So could you tell me a recent situation in which you had to make like a prioritization decision within the product itself? Short term, long term, you had to decide.
Well, how our project works is we have different capabilities. So every software system has different functions, different tasks it has to perform. And we divided this into certain capabilities. And when I came in, some capabilities were better organized than others. So we just had a look at what's the most important for our clients. And as a hospitality management software, it's really important for listings like houses or hotels or whatever to be shown online. So on Booking, on Expedia, on Vrbo, whatever. So I think one of the most important things we did at the start was focusing on the distribution of these different channels. So we're making sure that from our management software, listings are being deployed on Booking, on Expedia, whatever booking site you want. I think that's the main priority. And also other functionalities were worked out. Of course, they're not finished yet, but they're worked out enough that we can, move them up a couple months.
Yeah.
I think it's just realistically evaluating what do our clients need, and mainly, what power do our developers have, because it's a relatively young team, a lot of interns. So you also have to look, okay, do we have good programmers? Do we have good designers? Where's our
Especially since I'm one of the interns as well. So
where's the strengths and weaknesses? Like you can say, hey, we want to redesign the whole website, and then not have a designer. Yeah,
of course, for sure. Well, talking about business, matter of fact, was there recently a situation in which you had to translate kind of engineering into business? Can you share that example? Kind of how you translate the complex points?
Yeah, I think like we have like a couple of lead devs here. We have one lead developer who has like a deeper knowledge about what every developer is doing, what exactly needs to be done for every task. Then you have me, I do the product, so I have a bit more of an overview of the general idea where we're going. I don't dive too deep into code, I just get the features from developers and analyze them. Yeah. And then we have the head of sales, who is coincidentally you.
Happens to be me.
Yeah, and basically I have to translate to you what I get from the lead developer. Like, hey, when our feature's going to be done, what can I tell the clients? So I think it's important for me to communicate clearly about how long stuff is going to take, like deadlines, priorities, so you can set a realistic standard for our clients. You had a call recently about somebody who asked for a specific feature, like he was like, hey, how am I going to manage this? And we are actually working on that feature. It's going to be done in like a couple months. So yeah, it's important to communicate clearly about what can you tell our clients, because of course we don't want to sell something which is not going to be finished in time, or we don't want to, break promises. So I think it's really important to have that clear communication between, the different leads and then with the clients, because I don't talk to clients directly usually.
Yeah, well, exactly. This question is quite interesting, and since I already knew what you're going to kind of say, because we had that talk recently today, but for the listeners, of course, to get kind of the overall picture. Also, since in hospitality tech, compliance is a big thing, how would you say at this point in time you ensure security and like regulations are part of features from the get-go rather than being implemented later?
I think for now, security is not my main priority. We have a designated security team, and as a product manager, security is within my reach, but it's not my focus right now. So I must say I do not have enough knowledge to really like dive deep into this answer. I think our boss mainly focuses on the communication with the security team. And maybe for the future, when it becomes more important, I will focus on it too. But for now, the focus is really on getting the core functionalities working, and the protection of them is within the security team. That's not really my cup of tea. I don't really talk to them that often.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I appreciate you being clear about it and not evasive.
Yeah.
How some people would be like, oh yeah, maybe. It would be evasive about it. So I appreciate that. Well, also talking about like tech in general, especially nowadays, since AI is super popular and it's just getting more and more. I'd say from the emerging technologies like AI, for example, or maybe something else you have in mind, for let's say on the BMS and just in general dynamic pricing and like predictive occupancy in the future. Which of those technologies like AI are you most excited about for the future of Domits?
I think dynamic pricing is one of the big ones, because an AI can easily compare websites, it can easily compare occupancy within the area way faster than any manual like a person would do. Of course you have programs for this, and of course there are systems to be used. I think, for example, customer service, answering customers from within the website. I think AI will be really useful for that, just to not take over jobs, but just allow us to not think about it.
Like a coherent AI chatbot, for example?
For example, to answer basic questions like check-in, check-out, that we don't have to send that manually anymore. Of course, it's always important to look over an AI's shoulder, so the property manager should still have control. But I think it's really useful that an AI could, for example, send, like I said, a check-in, a check-out. I think that's the main thing. I think AI shouldn't be implemented too much. I think it should be on the background. But it's definitely useful for helping us out. Yeah,
but it has a right to live, to exist within the system.
Within a cage, let's say like that. Caged AI.
Well, Terminators, Skynet, don't kill us in a few countries.
I always say thanks to ChatGPT.
Yeah. Well, and then talking about measurement, right? Because here it is important to measure success.
Mhm.
And how do you measure that said success within the launched features with a product? And beyond basic adoption metrics, right? So if you say certain hospitality specific KPIs, which ones would you want to track? What's your not track record, but like what would you want to track within those implementations?
I think, of course you have the basic KPIs, you have occupancy rates, you have revenue. So of course, how many people are staying in my hotel, in my room, how much money am I making?
Yeah.
I think there's also more hidden percentages which are really useful for us, like the search to book ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So how many people visit your website, how many people actually book.
Yeah.
Because if that's really low, it might be a sign your website is just bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not designed well, people are missing critical information. I think that's the most, in my opinion, one of the more important ones.
Mm-hmm.
Of course it's reviews. Not only on the hosts, like on the listings we have, it's also for us, like, hey, do people like our platform, do people like our services?
Of course.
But I think the main KPIs will be, the money related ones,
Mm-hmm.
the search and book related ones, how many bookings do we have, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. And to kind of sum up today's episode, as a tech product manager, and especially what would you say for aspiring product managers in the future that are interested in hospitality tech, what key skills should they build beyond general fundamentals like APIs, cloud, and that stuff?
I think I would take it like not necessarily too technical. I think to be a product manager you mainly need like human and emotional skills.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you need to be professional because you have people which you lead. You have to set the example. I think, of course, it's important to understand the tooling. Like, for example, we use a lot of GitHub. I need to understand how it works.
Yeah.
But I think mainly it's just putting the hours in, being on time,
Mm-hmm.
As a product manager, you set the example. So it's about leading. It's about people trusting you to divide the tasks properly.
Absolutely.
And of course, you need to be technical. Like my background with my education helps a lot. But I think if you really want to be a product manager, the first thing is to be professional, and the second thing is to understand exactly what's going on. Because I believe that when you start working at a company or you start interning, that's when you really learn the most.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know the basics, but you need to know exactly how the company works.
It's kind of like in the name. It's tech product, so you need to know and have that knowledge. But also, it's a manager, so you need to communicate.
Yeah, you need to know how to manage. You need to be good at managing. Like, you can't really learn it. You can learn it, but if you're not good with people, you're not going to be good at management. People need to trust you. You need to be fluently, vocally. You need to be very fluent, not only in the language, but just emotionally. You need to be a good balance between funny and strict.
Absolutely.
I don't think you can really practice that. I think you can do it or you can't.
Yeah, you have to have a feeling for it.
Yeah, I liked it, but I've been very social all my life, and I think that's also why I chose it, because I really like IT. I think it's interesting, but I don't want to be like hardcore into my laptop all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's, for me, very important to have a social role within the IT cloud, within the IT business, I think that's the most important thing for me. Be social and have fun.
Yeah, and be a cell kind of be a gear in the moving machine.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you for having this talk today with me.
Very welcome.
Nice to have you. Then I'll be seeing you around, and you people listening to this lovely podcast,
make sure to subscribe.
And I'll talk to you later in future podcasts.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.